In this video, I'll show you how you can create measures and how you can format values in Excel Publish. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create custom measures inside your target file rather than having to do them in Power BI Desktop. Also, I'm going to show you how you can format your measures again in the target file so that format propagates through to Power BI Desktop automatically every time you publish. Now, I have a simple table here. It is not the result of a pivot table. And a pivot table is one way to deliver this information, but if you choose not to, that's fine. But you will see that there are limitations on this that are solved by a pivot table. But if you don't want to go that way, that's fine. I will show you a way to accommodate the things that you probably are missing if you do this way quite easily. If I go to the target file, you'll see immediately it's not a problem, but what the issue is. I have a table called emp data, which is the published table that you were looking at. If I go to the sandbox, I've created a very quick pivot table, which shows by department, by sex, by age, the total salary. So what it's doing is saying by department, by sex, by age, and it uses the measure that we created for you of salary. Now, what I really want is to propagate this through to Power BI Desktop. So let's go and look at what happens in here. When I go to Power BI Desktop, I've created the same exact pivot table in a matrix object on a report. And so I have the same exact results. I want to know how many people are in asset management who are female, who are 30. But I also want to know how many people are in asset management that are just female. Now, in order to create that count, I could create a measure over here inside Power BI Desktop. There's no question about that. However, I'm going to do this in Excel, which gives you the advantage of Excel Publish. I'm going to instead go back to my target file. I'm going to go to Power Pivot. I'm going to go to the temp emp data table, and I go down here. I'm going to say, how many people are there? Now, the easiest way to do it is say just count on a field that is unique. In this case, the employee numbers. It doesn't have to be unique, just counts the number of records in each field. And when I return that, it says there are 33 people, which is true. Now, if I change this now to number emp and hit enter and go back to Excel to the target file, I can now drag number emp on here, and now it tells me the number of employees there are for asset management who are female and who are 30. But remember, because this is a measure, if I remove age, it is going to tell me how many employees are there that are in asset management and are female. If I remove sex, it tells me how many employees there are in each one of these departments. And so that's pretty simple. Now, the advantage of this, if say I put sex back in here and age back in here, that's pretty simple. Now what I want to do is push this to Power BI, and so I will publish this changed model. Now, keep in mind something. Now that I've added this measure and I've published it to Power BI Desktop, every time I publish, this measure will be propagated through to Power BI Desktop along with all the new data. And the evidence of that is in here. If I hit refresh, if I look back to the right, there is number of employees. So if I come in, I drag number of employees and put it underneath values, now I see not only the salary, but also the number of employees. And again, because this is a measure, it will calculate properly at every level. So if I remove age and I remove sex, I end up with my 9, 9, 9, and 6 result. I guess I got to remove 6 the proper way. 9, 9, 9, and 6, just like in the original. So I'm going to go back and add sex back in and age back in. And now I'm actually going to move sex up between department and age. And now I have the original view. So if I go all the way down and show this at every level, now I have what I'm looking for. Now, what if I want the average? That's a natural. And again, I could create a measure here that calculates the averages, but instead I'm going to go back to the target file and I'm going to calculate the average in the target file, and I'm going to include it so that it will be propagated as well. Now, the average only works on a column. And I could do it based on a column, but I would have to make a small change to the salary column, which I'm not going to bother right now. So if I go equals average X, the difference with average X is it will work with measures. So I have to say, what is the table name? And then I have to point to the measure that I want to include. So I'm going to put the measure called salary. If I hit enter, now we're going to get the correct value. So if I go back here, now I can add measure 1 to this, which is our average. In fact, if I go back here, let's look at something we've done. First of all, we don't want this to be called. We want this to be average salary. But there's a second thing that I'm going to teach you in this video, is I'm going to format this. So when I'm on a measure and I go format, I can say currency to no decimal places. I can also format this salary currency to no decimal places. And I've done that in the data model up in Power Pivot in the target file. And so it has automatically recalculated all my values in my sandbox. Now I'm going to do things. I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to publish it. And remember, I'm publishing it from within the target file. You could go back and republish from the source, but it's not necessary. Now that that's done, I go back to Power BI, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh it. Now, if you look at two things, one, salaries don't have formats, and two, there is no average field measure in the data set. So once it's recalculated, now I have dollar signs, and over here I have average salary, which I can drop on here as well. And now I have salary, number of employees, and average salary in my table in Power BI Desktop. I save that. Next time I publish from my source file, it's going to automatically publish that through the target file. It's going to propagate not only the data, but it's going to propagate any measures you've created and any formats that you've applied in the target file, so that in the end, your matrix will look exactly the same as it does in the sandbox.